Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. It is the PayDirt Podcast,
We
back with
made
the
it.
latest and greatest episode. You already know it's me, the Don Father, with the one and only Timbo Slice.
In the building, my G. What's going on, dude?
Yes, sir. Hey, man, on is going. Just know that on is going. As you see
Always
right
going.
now,
Always
it is,
going.
man. We're not off. And then Rise Words of Drake. We just flipped the switch.
Yep. We done.
Feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Especially the off season. Like there isn't much necessarily going on at this point in the NFL season, but there's things going on just in the world. A lot of things are happening.
Yeah, always. This world never sleeps, man.
No.
As you see, a lot of things changing up. That boy, Mr. Wentz, to the Colts.
Talk about blockbuster. We have had a very good off season.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. And it hasn't the draft hasn't even happened yet, and that's all that Wentz for, surprisingly. And too, with a change and victory, there's always going to be sorrow. I'm sure everyone heard about what happened to Mr. Vincent Jackson.
R.I.P. Man, T's and P's to his family. From what I heard, he was a very, very good person, especially in the community. He did a lot of things for the Tampa Bay, Los Angeles community where he played. Some of his career stats, he put on like for those Tampa Bay and Los Angeles Chargers teams, 9,000 yards. So 9,000 yards receiving, over 1,000 receptions, which is phenomenal. Rest in peace to him.
Dude was a baller.
Yeah, he was found in a hotel room. He had been there about a month. No one came and checked on him for about 3 or 4 days, and they're not quite sure what it is yet. Their family hasn't quite gotten that out yet, and I mean, you can kind of put two and two together per se, like what happened, but I'm sure it's going to get out of what actually happened.
100%. I know he had a history of alcohol, but we'll definitely get into that later once we do start the segment. And speaking of change too, I know, and it's not Fly Eagles Fly anymore. For speaking of Jackson, another Jackson. I'm sure everyone heard too. Mr. Deshaun Jackson just got released from the Philadelphia Eagles too. So
wow.
A lot going on in football, man. I feel like the mock drafts are always changing up too. Mel Kiper's drafts. I mean, we're going to see what happens when that draft day comes, but it's definitely been an interesting offseason already.
There's a lot of things popping off. Like even though like we say, yeah, it's the off season, so it's not like urgency because we got to wait for the next 5 to 6 months for a game to happen. The teams are going all in at the beginning of this off season.
Yeah.
The Colts wouldn't budge. Their offer never ever wavered for Carson Wentz. So, just in case you guys are not familiar, Carson Wentz, quarterback from the Philadelphia Eagles, got hurt 1 year and led his team to the Super Bowl. But the Super Bowl MVP actually was the backup quarterback, Big Richard Nick Foles. He did some damage there. They have a statue in Philadelphia, so think about it. Carson Wentz has to walk in past someone who took his team to the Super Bowl. He didn't talk to Doug Peterson. The rumors are coming out now about he didn't talk to him for weeks on end. There was pictures, they get some real good sideline shots of Carson Wentz just like, and Jalen Hurts going in, all that whole deal, man.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy because to be honest with you, though, I think the Eagles now having Jalen Hurts there starting as a quarterback, I really think he's going to do a lot. I think he's young, he's hungry, and I feel like he knows the Eagles offense, so I wouldn't be surprised too if he definitely gets a. I don't want to say the Eagles are going to get a winning record next year, but they're going to have an improved record from what they just had with this past year. That's actually how much I'm believing Hurts right now, especially to Mr. Peterson gone. We've got some new coaching on the Eagles staff, so we'll see what Jalen Hurts does with the Eagles. But I think Wentz is definitely going to ball out with the Colts.
I think a new quarterback coming in there, someone who's mobile, who's fresh, a new coaches like Nick Serafini, even though he had an awful press conference. He is a coach from from the Colts. So it's just crazy too. The Colts-Eagles connection. Frank Reich, he is the Indianapolis Colts. I think it's his third year. He's going into his third year as at the helm. Well, he used to be Carson Wentz's offensive coordinator. So being the offensive coordinator, Carson Wentz did statistically do the best out of his career there, the numbers, but he also got hurt in that year, which he was doing the MVP. I think if no one can fix Carson Wentz, it's gotta be Frank Reich in that offense. Because think about it too, he goes to a place, great defense, an offensive line, fantastic. I did see a tweet the other day that per personnel on the Eagles were 11th in the offensive line and the Colts were 12th, but that also doesn't account for two of the Colts All-Pro starters went out. Quentin Nelson was a little banged up, so they have a great offensive line. They have a phenomenal running game. Jonathan Taylor, Naheem Hines.
Jonathan Taylor, baller, man. I'm pretty sure he averaged like almost 60, 70 yards a game.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fantasy drafts and different things for you guys. I'm gonna tell you what, Jonathan Taylor is high up on my list at RB, my friend.
Bro, I feel like a lot of the running backs that were actually liable this past season is not going to be the big names that we're used to hearing, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. I mean, besides Jonathan Taylor, I know we all know Edwards-Helaire though did with Kansas City. He wasn't completely slept on. I do think he's still slightly though underrated in one way or another. I just think what it really is though, he fits that Chiefs offense excellently.
He does. And I think it was also a little learning time for him this year. Like, it was crazy to me, too, when I saw he was so high on draft boards. Like, you remember he was like 5th or 6th overall pick, and he hadn't had an NFL snap yet. I was surprised. Surprised.
Hey, man, and I feel like it's going to be like that even this year, too, with just a lot of these running backs and wide receivers. And
Najee Harris, Trey Sermon, like,
Exactly. And speaking of wide receivers too, we know the Eagles got rid of
his name, but Ediente from Clemson, he's nasty. Number 9. He's a dog. He's a dog.
Nah, that's for sure, man. And I think too, man. I don't think my Giants are gonna get Devontae Smith from Alabama. But
I don't think he's gonna fall that far.
You never know these days. They're saying teams. Speaking of greediness, I know you're seeing the greediness how teams got to go get it. And I was on I believe it was Adam Schefter's Twitter earlier today, and they're saying teams got to be more greedy than ever. Even if you got an Aaron Rodgers there on the field or Patrick Mahomes on the field, you still see another baller, just get the best player.
Basically best player at that position. Like that's how the draft works too. If you have a need and you have the best available at that position, you fill it, like, for sure. And because especially the first, second, and third round, I mean, the talent level really kind of drops off per se, but there's also people that slip through the cracks constantly. See, here's another – you're talking about the draft. So here's another thing I'm seeing out there. And this is going to be part of our Rumor Roundup, Rumor Recap, Rumor Report, any name.
Double R, baby, double R.
People are calling Zach Wilson over Justin Fields, and I'm like, really? Where's this?
That makes me say that
bullshit starts. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Start flying.
People, they at the table like this. All these NFL owners at the table like this, man, just waiting to let the dice go, man.
They say 5 quarterbacks are going to be taken in the first 10 picks. I'm like, really? Really?
And half of those teams don't even necessarily need quarterbacks right now. So that just shows you they just thinking about the future, and I feel like now they're just using players as pawns, as chess pieces. I mean, for lack of a better terms, and that's all it is.
Well, the Carson Wentz, and let's give the trade details. Speaking of that, so Eagles, they get Carson Wentz. just Carson Wentz, nothing else. They get that. They don't have that $33.8 million cap hit. They're going to have to pay him at some point. But in return, the Eagles wanted a lot more. They wanted like 3-4 picks. They wanted like a Matt Stafford, Jared Goff type deal. But the Eagles were at the wrong end of it. They had Jared Goff. They didn't have Matt Stafford. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have anyone in that tier quality. So the Eagles, they got a 3rd-round pick this year and then a conditional 2nd. So if Carson Wentz plays over 70% of the snaps and they make the playoffs, that turns into a 1.
Was it? And they make the playoffs? I thought it was just healthy every game. Okay. And they make the playoffs is the cherry on top.
Yes. Or if he plays over 75% of the snaps, which means his it's all performance. Performance deals. Yeah. So
he just got to stay healthy, and the Eagles should get that 2nd-round pick. We'll see what that Colts offensive line though.
The first
offensive line is the top 10, so
that they would get a 1st-round pick for that conditional 2nd.
Oh, it'll be a 1st. So
yeah,
gotcha.
Yep. So that is a chess pawn piece. They were dumping the contract, even though they still have to pay that 33.8. They got something in return, but in my opinion, Donnie, I think the Colts won this trade because if there's anybody, like I was saying earlier, if there's anyone that can get it right, it's the Colts. They play hard. They want Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, he just needed a change of scenery, and the Colts are the team that I think will do it. Now, also with that, a little funny tidbit that happened. So Michael Pittman, he had, I think, over 500 receiving yards, wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts. Carson Wentz's number was 11 in Philly. And he has the number. This guy's a rookie wide receiver. He has a flash of greatness, you know. Did you see this today?
I definitely caught wind of it, man.
Yeah, he wants.
Sounds like a very cocky wide receiver to me.
Yeah, then I'm like, that's
a little arrogant to me.
That's your franchise quarterback. He's just not going to look at you now and just gonna turn around and just be like,
he wasn't going to give up that number 11. That's what Pittman said. He wasn't going to give up that 11 to win.
What would be funny too is maybe Carson takes 1, and then Pat McAfee, the dude. I watch his show every day. The dude is electric. He was the punter for the Colts. Now he does a Pat McAfee show. Dude's legendary. He's like, I would love for Carson Wentz to wear number 1 and bring that and restore the greatness to that number. So there's also he could do one like
Cam Newton ain't do it. We'll talk about that later though.
Yeah, Michael Pittman. What are you doing? That is your quarterback. You better make a deal.
Yeah, you would think, but I just showed you a lot about Carson Wentz because he said Carson Wentz replied like, all right, that's cool. Carson Wentz shot him a text. Carson Wentz asked Pittman politely, hey, what's the status with number 11? And all Pittman said is like, I'm gonna keep it. And he said Carson Wentz was extra cool about it. He didn't make a big deal out of it. So, and maybe and you know too with these NFL players and their numbers, some players hold a little more value towards the number they wear than others. So maybe it's number 11 definitely could have a lot of meaning to Pittman. Maybe that's basically what kind of his motivation when he looks at that 1-1. So you can see maybe that's why he takes it so serious. But to kind of just give the Heisman hand to the veteran quarterback that's about to be on their squad right now for a rookie to say, hey, man, you going to get my number.
You got to earn that respect. But also at the same time, you know who did not get a lot of respect and also talking about number 1s. Did y'all see that video of that 7-on-7 camper talking shit to number 1 Superman Cam Newton? Like, did you?
He broke. He said he broke. He free agent.
What?
Any kid that's gonna tell me I'm broke when I know damn well he don't even got $1 in his bank account yet. He probably doesn't even have a bank account. What's he saying? I'm laughing at. But
bro,
yeah, man, that was definitely a funny situation. When I woke up this morning and seen it, all I had to do was just laugh and like, hey, this just shows you how this Generation Z, I believe that's what they call it. Generation Z, yeah, Gen Z, they don't know their boundaries sometimes. My intake on that was Obviously, it was definitely disrespectful. I don't know how the parents were that raised that kid, but at the same time, though, I still kind of find it a little bit comical in one way or another.
Damn.
But what are you gonna do these days, man? These kids grow up just eating Cheetos for breakfast and go to sleep with their phone glued to their eye. So it's like, their brains don't function how they should. I guess common sense and respect isn't as common as it
Not my
been
dude.
back in the day. So hey, he said he a free agent, he broke. So
Bro,
according to Cam Newton, he's still rich. Who do we believe?
when that camper, when he got the attention on himself, he got all shy. He was like, nah, like I let my competitive edge get the best of me, this, that, and I'm like, why wouldn't you, like, even that in
Is
general?
that what he said in the apology? Because I did see Cam Newton talk to him after. It seemed like he was still yapping, though. It seemed like he was still kind of
right.
yeah,
Like,
it still like he's kind of still coming with an arrogant, disrespectful tone.
They had a video after, and the kid got all shy and was like,
Oh, okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah, bro.
I know he made that public apology. I did that. I guess he had a written statement.
Yeah,
He's
and then
about to
Cam put out
apologize and all
another
that.
video because he was like, "Oh, you're gonna put me on blast? Okay." And Cam did the Superman thing though. He really, like, you gotta say, he really put.
He said, "Where your dad at?"
Yeah, where you're like, bruh, what are you doing? But also at the same time, you're there to learn from a former MVP, been to the Super Bowl, like that. Have put some respect on Cam.
Right. Put some respect on his name, and not to say that was Cam Newton's camp right there.
So, it was, man. Like, what are you doing, my guy?
Hey, these kids don't know no better, man. But it's sad to say, I'm not surprised.
I'm not either, and that's sad to say. But
and who knows, that kid? Maybe this will be just karma right here, because they're already saying they already got his whole government name out in public right now. So we'll see if he's really serious about football and trying to go to college. We'll see how these colleges treat him. Would they even offer him a scholarship for football now? Now this is out, is this gonna ruin his future? Who knows? The media can be deadly, man.
Yeah, Cam might put him under his wing though, because there is some other that came out today of Cam like, "Yo, listen, like, you're at my camp, like, you haven't achieved anything yet." Cam could have buried him. He could have buried him. He could have just been like, nah.
He didn't want to do that to a little kid though. That would have been.
He was like, no, I'm gonna make this kid have a learning experience and humble him. And Cam is humble. Like, yeah, he dresses like extravagantly, kind of, but also at the same time, he's very wise. He's a good person, good-hearted person. What are you doing talking shit to him? What have you done in order for you to be able to be on that level with Superman?
Yep, I agree, man. I agree. I think these days these kids are just trying to go viral on TikTok, and and that could be detrimental, to be honest with you.
Social media, bro.
For clout, man. For clout. That's all it is.
Clout chasing. It'll leave you hungry and desperate.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta.
That shit don't last long.
No, it don't. And also, too, getting into our rumor roundup, rumor recap.
Yo, say that fast 3 times, Simple Slice.
Rumor recap.
The rumor rounder recap, baby.
The rumor recap roundup. Ooh.
The rumor recap roundup. Triple R is coming at you. PayDirt Podcast. Rumor recap roundup, baby.
Race.
Yes, sir.
Like the Triple R. It's almost like Rolls Royce, but better. You know what I mean? But
I like that.
Yo, we're thinking Deshaun Watson to the Panthers? Will they trade CMC? Christian McCaffrey, arguably the best running back in the league, can do everything from scrimmage yards, boom, popping all over, catching balls. Like, what are they gonna do? Do you think, Donnie, if Deshaun Watson gets traded to the Panthers, that CMC has to be in the deal, or Houston will let it ride, because that's a franchise player you're giving to Carolina. You better get what he's worth.
100%, and one can always argue that boy Christian McCaffrey is a franchise player in himself, which he literally is, to be honest. And no, to be honest, I would not give Christian McCaffrey for Deshaun Watson. And I know that the rumor was it was Christian McCaffrey plus for just Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
And
I don't think you do that. I think you take Christian McCaffrey off the table and you give him that 8th round pick and then something like Christian McCaffrey. I mean, that guy is so dynamic.
He's coming off of injuries. We know he got injured this prior season. He didn't play a full season, unfortunately.
He might die down in the Texans, bro. Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man. Carolina, can definitely be an option. But breaking news here. Not just Carolina, though, but the San Francisco 49ers.
I've already heard it, bro. Yeah. Oh, wait.
We talking about Deshaun to San Fran, man. Deshaun Watson to San Francisco.
Yeah. We all know that that's not happening. I mean, there's not even a deal in place.
Hey. Well, there's a rumored deal now. And this deal will be a 7-for-1 deal right here. And I know I just said Carolina shouldn't even give up McCaffrey for Deshaun Watson. I know I just said that. Christian McCaffrey's a beast. Let me remind you. But even with the rumor that with the San Francisco 49ers, man, they're going to give up porn star Jimmy, a.k.a. Jimmy G, Jimmy Garoppolo. That man, Fred Warner. Fred Warner, All-Star, Pro Bowl linebacker for 49ers, with their tackle Mike McGlinchey, a first-round pick for this year and for next year, and then a second-round pick for this year also, and a third-round pick for 2022. So they're going to give up 3 players, 4 picks for Deshaun Watson.
Wow.
I don't know, man. Right now, it's a rumor that's milling. How do you feel about that, Temple Slice? 4 round picks and three pretty legit players for just one player. So Watson.
Allow that, especially like Fred Warner too. He's like probably the best middle linebacker coming up. Like, you know what I mean? He's like one of the top 3. Wow. I can't see it happening, but imagine. They give up Jimmy G. They're like, we're automatically upgrading at the quarterback position of playmaker. They have plenty of running backs. They do have a great defense. Obviously, last year, you know what I mean, with all the injuries, couldn't necessarily show that, but they still were competitive. They still won some games they shouldn't have, per se. You know what I mean? That would be crazy to see him over in San Francisco. But do you think as this goes on now, it could be a draft day trade? Do you think the more time goes on, the percentage goes up that he is traded, or it goes down? What do you think?
I think it goes up, to be honest, because I don't think Deshaun is playing at all, literally and figuratively. No lie. If the Texans don't still choose not to try to trade him or try to basically keep him hostage.
Yeah.
For lack of better terms, keep him hostage on the Houston Texans. As you see, he doesn't want to be there anymore. Houston let go J.J. Watt without no problem at all.
Let him go. Let him.
Yep. I guess so. It all just depends, though. They have to hear the right offer. I know the GM and the owner said they're not even accepting offers right now. They're not even trying to hear any offers for Deshaun Watson. That's what they said. But they know if a team comes correct, they will take that offer.
Plus, they're probably trying to buy time because there's a new thing in there. But the Texans are boneheads, man. If they're trying to repair the relationship, they're doing a terrible job at it. They fired one of the coaches that he was really tight with. Bro, the other day, the Texans. So when they hired the coach that they have now, Dave something from the Baltimore Ravens. So what were the Baltimore Ravens really good at? Just real quick, top of the head. What was the best thing?
Rushing.
Okay. What were they worst at?
Paying dirt.
Yes. What were they the worst at? And you should know this off the bat. They were dead last in it.
I mean, I would say that passing game. Now, I mean, wasn't the best.
Who did the Houston Texans hire as a head coach?
You let us know, Temple Slice.
Oh,
you breaking it down to me right now too.
They hired the coach for that passing attack as their head coach. Didn't even give Eric Bieniemy like.
What goes around comes around.
Why would Deshaun Watson want to be in Houston at the Texans? And they do that. Like, they're just messing this all up if they're trying to repair anything.
Yeah, I feel like Deshaun Watson. We need to just take that guy's face from Get Out. He's actually in the new movie, Judas and the Black Messiahs. I think his name is like Lakeith.
Wow.
We remember that famous meme, and when that actor was in the movie Get Out. I know we all know what Get Out was about. That was a homie that got kidnapped and was
yeah.
My all right, we're back. No technical difficulties.
No, we're good. Wait, technical difficulties.
Sorry, you froze for a minute. That's why. Okay.
Oh, me? No, yeah. I'm good, bro. Everything's good on this end.
All right, we're good. We're good. All right. You know, virtual reality is reality these days. These people.
Yeah. I'm glad it just didn't freeze on your ugly mug again because I would have had to deal with that.
Hey, listen, the screen would have looked a whole lot better. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I don't know, dog.
Man, listen, man. You know, virtual reality is reality these days. But like I was saying, man, I know we all know that Get Out meme with that man Lakeith when he just had the straw hat on. He was just trying to escape. I really think that's Deshaun Watson's face right now in Houston Texans, man. He's just trying to get out.
They have no draft picks, too, so it would be like, dude, like, get him out of there. Get everything you can for him. Because if you try and make him play, you're going to see from the body language. You're going to see from everything. It's just going to drop. He's not going to be there. Like, there's no one. You're not trying to build around him. Like, just let him go for a team and get something back.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree.
What
they can draft a future franchise quarterback. Most likely right now if they get the proper trading options. So
bro,
we'll see what happens.
I'm saying like get a guy like Deshaun Watson in Miami, that team instantly becomes a Super Bowl contender. Like the Jets, okay, maybe not, but if he went there, it would entice more people to go to the Jets and Robert Saleh. But at the same time, it's like San Francisco, that could be a real good spot for him, especially with that defense. He wants to go with someone that can compete immediately and be contenders. And I don't blame him. So where do you think he ultimately ends up now hearing all these different rumors and there's actually like a 7-1 trade? What's your updated thoughts on Deshaun?
I really think he has a great chance of taking his talents to South Beach. You already kind of see some of the moves that the Miami Dolphins been playing with. I mean, to decent, fair season. To say the least of what he had.
They had Ryan Fitzmagic just and another thing too that kind of brings a connection between Houston and Miami is the people Nick Caserio that's in the management for the Texans. When he was in New England, they really liked Tua, and they would have drafted him if he became available. And when they did that, they went to go. Yeah, New England wanted to get Tua, and then when they went to get Tua, he obviously wasn't there. So when that kind of makes sense too. It's like, all right, they could go to Tua, but having the guy who had the 30-second passing attack is not going to get you what you want to do from a second-year rookie in a new offense. Well, not second-year rookie, but you get what I mean. Another new offense go to the Texans.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I think Tua too. He's I would say right now he's more of a liability than an asset. He definitely has great potential though to turn into a complete asset. So I couldn't see Houston ignoring a trade for Miami with Tua included in it, having Tua as their quarterback for this upcoming season. But it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of pieces for a team to land Deshaun. It's just who's willing to offer the most. Because if no team is trying to offer the most, literally the most right now for Deshaun, they're going to keep him hostage down in Houston. And shit, you already seen what has been going on in Texas. So hopefully that's not a sign of the worst of all trades right there.
I hope not, bro. Yeah. It's wild. Where do you think he ends up? Like, do you still think?
Oh, Miami. Like I said, I think he's gonna take his talents to South Beach still.
Yeah.
I think Miami's gonna give Houston some good tools to trade with, Tua plus more, probably a couple round picks, a couple more players. I could see him balling out in Miami.
Yeah, Jets or Miami, they get a quarterback in return, which I think is the best possible scenario.
Exactly.
Like that's what I'm thinking. So we got to go back right to Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson getting released from the Eagles. The Eagles.
Speaking of teams revamping,
yeah, that fake rebuild, bro.
It's like Legos. It's like Legos out here.
I think they're lining up because they want to get like a really good receiver. They do need some help on the defensive side, but like they need a playmaker for Jalen Hurts. They need somebody who can go get it. They're probably going to trade Zach Ertz as well at some point, get something for him because he can still play. It's just, best ability is availability, and that's his only main concern, really. He can still play there. And also, Zach Ertz was looking for an extension. Philly doesn't want to do that. They have Dallas Goedert. So I kind of think they either get Kyle Pitts, because Kyle Pitts can flat out go and get it. He did his thing at Florida. I think they're going to get something in the draft, like a Kyle Pitts, somebody who can really just go get it, be a
go get him.
Someone for Jalen Hurts to throw to, because Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun, they're not going to be there. Yeah,
no, I hear that, and the Eagles need to do a lot of revamping. As you see, I think Jalen Hurts, he's gonna need way more than even the Eagles have to get something big for Jalen Hurts to have actual weapons right now.
Yeah.
I ain't complaining though. I mean, my Giants are always sniffing around, literally this close to making the playoffs.
Nate Sudfeld, that's all I gotta say. Unbelievable.
Man, I ain't never seen nothing so despicable in my life. That kind of just shows you what the Eagles are about. So hopefully Jalen Hurts doesn't turn into Deshaun Watson next year.
And that's why he got fired.
Exactly. But hey, we're gonna see, man, and them getting rid of Jeffries, we'll see where he goes too. He might go to the rival, the Giants. You never know. A lot of free agents to play with right now.
Yeah,
and
a lot of moving pieces, cap casualties. Speaking of a cap casualty and maybe a life casualty as well, which is kind of messed up, but Von Miller, he might be a cap casualty. $17 million he's owed by the Broncos, and obviously, a huge, crazy, insane player. But if you don't know what happened, allegedly the texts were fake, Donnie. That's what people are saying.
I assume so, man. There's a lot of baby mama drama. I stay out of that usually. But that
when it was trending on Twitter, you gotta see, like, oh, that is not good. To see someone trending and they weren't playing football at the time, especially a football player, is never good. You look and you're like, oh, ooh.
That's a true story because you see a lot of these players. I mean, Pac-Man Jones. I'm sure y'all heard about him last week. I believe
he was defending DUI. Fucking goon came up to him, dude. That's what he was saying on the Pat McAfee show. He interviewed him. He's like, this dude. By the time I turned around, they were all already trying to throw me into it. And he's like,
oh wow,
the person that got arrested. And he's like,
I did an interview.
Yeah, literally the next day when he got out on the Pat McAfee show, because he used to play with him, and he's like, no. As soon as I turned around, I was the only one arrested. It's definitely profiling. Like he was like, I was the only one arrested out of everybody, and I drove home and they said before, they're like, did you drink and stuff? He's like, nah. He's like, that's why I don't drink anymore. And they pulled him out of the car and he's like, sir, I'm driving my Rolls Royce. Like, what do you mean? And you don't drive a Rolls Royce like if you get a driver or something like that. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's for sure. That's for sure. I didn't know he actually had an interview after he got out. So
the day after, he was like, yeah, he's going to be on, and he's going to tell his side, because you never hear the athlete side of it. You know what I'm saying?
We only have what the media is saying, trying to portray, create a narrative on all these players.
Apology or something along those lines. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know somebody else off the top of my head, but I know someone else just got arrested, right, for street racing this past weekend.
The same dude who it wasn't Oakland. Oh, all right. We got to find this. It was the same. It was the same dude who tried to in Seahawks camp disguise a woman.
Yeah.
As a football player in Seahawks gear and bring her in.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. It is what it is with that. I don't blame the brother. I do not blame the brother.
Hey, you got to get it in.
Nah, I'm saying when you can get it in, you gotta do what you gotta do in order to get it in. So hey, it is what it is, man. But,
Jimmy G's trending on Twitter right now. So is Isaiah Wilson. Ooh, why is this?
Isaiah direct with some more breaking news. Possibly.
Yeah, Isaiah Wilson. Titans 2020 first round offensive tackle Isaiah Wilson tweets that he's done with football as a Titan. He only played 4 snaps last season and was involved in a number of off-field incidents. Ooh. All right, so Steelers probably going to get him. If I had to guess. No, that's crazy. First round pick in 2020 tweets he's done with and especially if he stays with the Titans, that'll be awkward.
Does it say why? Does it say why? He's just
no. He probably got disciplined and different stuff like that. He's not used to that. Who knows? Those things happen. But yeah, it was the same dude who tried to disguise a Seattle player, or a Seattle player. As I get it, do what you got to do, my dude. But damn, that sucks. You got caught.
And it shows you the dude is savage, and obviously he doesn't know his boundaries. Here at PayDirt Podcast, either we don't condone any type of illegal street racing or anything of that nature. But as you tell, in the offseason,
unless it's just for our entertainment, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. You see, doing this all season, a lot of these players get bored and just start doing a lot of extracurricular activities, especially rich people extracurricular activities. So
yeah, especially their schedules now are so much more free.
Yeah, exactly.
All your friends are locked down. Like, they can't go out with you on a Tuesday night. Like, they got work and shit.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. There's a lot's been going down this off season.
Yeah.
I guess the one way or another to kind of wrap up this rumor recap report. We here at the PayDirt Podcast, we're talking football. We're always talking sports. We're talking a lot of things these days. Our last episode, we did the Pay or Dirt segment, and we're just going to touch on just a few subtopics real quick. We're going to do another quick Pay or Dirt segment.
Something, see if it's something worth paying attention to, or I feel like it's a disservice to our listeners if we don't do like a current events thing, because we got to talk about what's going on in the world. Here at the PayDirt Podcast, we do try and stay as neutral as possible, but we do give our views. So, the good thing
always,
we're on camera on SoundCloud, so the views are our own. Okay?
Hey, and I can definitely second that here. And a lot's been going on. And you know what? I'm just gonna throw this one. This to me, I'm already gonna say it is dirt. We got Kimye divorcing. To me,
I called it.
How do you feel, Simple Slice?
I called it 8 months ago. I knew it was going to happen, especially when he started to transform more to a godly man. And I was like, he's going to open up and see what he's dealing with. And I think part of the reason he might have been crazy, but also like just pushed it to another level is being in that and seeing that, like, yo, all these men all around and what happened with, that family and everything. And just like you see what happens. Like, it's the Kardashian curse for a reason. That Kanye's like, nah, I ain't doing it. And the weird things with, they said with Jeffree Star, whatnot, like,
that was all TikTok. That was all TikTok. Hopefully, fake news. That's all I gotta say. I know it was trending though.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely for the best, because Kanye, it seems to be a much better version of himself. Even though, like, he is smart, just the way he thinks and his creative genius. I listened to a whole podcast on.
What's your favorite Kanye album?
Favorite Kanye album? I gotta
put you on the spot, Timbo Slice, but I gotta know this one. I don't even think I know this one.
I gotta say it's Graduation, but I'm gonna look real quick to make sure of what songs were on there. But Graduation's one of them, but I gotta say the one too that is very underrated and probably my favorite, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Hell yeah.
That and Life of Pablo, so underrated. Shout out my boy Braden. Me and him, we were chilling. He showed me the Life of Pablo, as we just rode around in a suite. We chilled out. You know what I mean, to the whole Life of Pablo album.
It was a big vibe. It was Pablo vibes, big vibes.
And My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I think I got to go with that. They're dark fantasy. Gorgeous, bangers,
classic.
All of the Lights,
classic.
Monster,
classic.
So Appalled with Jay-Z and Pusha T. That's an underrated song on that album.
Legendary.
Devil in a New Dress with Rick Ross, Runaway, Pusha T.
Yep.
All of a Life, The Blame Game. That's a good one. Lost in the World, and Who Will Survive in America. I mean, banger.
Lie, that may be my number one. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy probably is my number one Kanye album. Graduation is right there though. Graduation is probably a runner-up. Obviously, we can't forget about classic Kanye, College Dropout.
Yeah, Graduation, Good Morning, Champion, like this.
Stronger, can you get me stronger? That don't kill me, can only make me stronger. That was my workout song, man, all throughout high school, bro.
Daft Punk, the band that he sampled, actually just broke up yesterday.
Really? I think I caught wind of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a legendary band right there.
That's such a crazy transition, especially that he started singing that song, and then I'm like, wow, actually Daft Punk literally they broke up like yesterday. 20 years.
That's a legendary duo. They threw a lot of I feel like EDM glow parties in general.
Yeah, lots of things, dude.
A lot of wasted white girls out there that enjoy some Daft Punk music.
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. But to bring it back to Kimye, Kanye's got to do his thing. He wants to live a much more moral and it seems as like moral and just on the path. And the Jesus path, and hey, dude,
I hope he gets there. I hope he hits Nirvana. But me being a consumer that I am and a fan that I am, not as strong as a fan I used to be. I just want a fire album, some fire shoes. That's all I ask for. All I want is a fire album and give me some fire sneakers. And hey, I'm with it, man. But I hope everybody happiness. I know a lot of people are cancel Kanye. I'm not a big fan of the cancel culture. It is what it is. At the end of the day, everyone's entitled to their opinions. This is Kanye we're talking about. He's on the Mount Rushmore of music, not even just hip hop, not even just rap. He's on the Mount Rushmore of music.
Everything. Yeah, bro. That tough one, but at the same time, it's like that, and the kids will be all right. Like, the kids are all right.
Yeah, yep. That's a classic. And speaking of that, that's how we hope that goes on with this divorce. The kids are all right, and Kanye West gives us some fire music and sneakers, and I'm good, man. Kim Kardashian can do what she want, but that was one of recent news. What is something that you've seen going on throughout your social media recently, Timbo Slice? Is it a PayDirt segment here?
PayDirt. Really, the things that were kind of going around. Well, Daft Punk breaking up, that was kind of like, oh, okay, like, damn, after 28 years, like,
sheesh.
That.
I'm not an avid listener. Are you a big listener of Daft Punk though? Or
No,
workout playlist?
the legendary thing, like, you know what I mean?
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
I didn't really see too much going around that I was like, oh, what's a, but what? Actually, I lied, and this is hilarious. So, MyPillow and the CEO, Mike Lindell, are are getting sued by the Dominican voting systems for $1.3 billion for defamation.
Really? I didn't even hear about this one.
Yeah. Wow.
This is an actual legit lawsuit.
Yes. They're suing him for defamation.
By a whole damn country, what it sounds like.
Basically. $1.3 billion.
Sheesh.
But for $1.3 billion in damages for what it alleges were defamatory accusations related to the presidential election, even though there was actual evidence of weird shit happening. Like, not to get like super political, but there was some things that were a little strange.
I mean, we're even a week into the new year, and I was already scratching my head by the shit I was seeing on TV and the internet. So, these days, I'm not surprised by anything that's circus-like within this governmental and political realm.
Yeah. And we'll probably get into that in a later podcast as well. But just to let you all guys know, that's kind of that whole deal. We'll have a nice segment for you guys.
100%.
For sure.
Now, I mean, go ahead, Simple Slice.
Now, I gotta ask you too, like on that. Do you think it's crazy what's happening in the country now, or like do you think it's just a standstill? Like where it's a little strange, things aren't going, haywire. It's a little more.
It's like our stocks, man. It's like our shares.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's like a roller coaster. Everything just goes up and down. But I feel like at the end of the day, Temple Slice always said this too, man. We can't get caught. I like to call it the Matrix. At the end of the day, too, it's a circus.
Can't be blinded.
Exactly. We can't be blinded by the circus. I feel like we just gotta focus on our own goals, and take care of our families, and just have faith, man. Believe in, and right here, actually, I'm drinking out of a cup. I'm not even trying to get religious on y'all, but it says, "Blessed is a man of faith," and I say, if we stay optimistic, everything gonna be all right. In the wise words of Kendrick Lamar,
everything gonna be all right. It's called the Bug Club for a reason. I got mine.
You know the vibe. Hey, cheers, brother. Here on the PayDirt Podcast, we do virtual cheers.
That's right. Cheers. Do what you like what you do, my friend.
Exactly.
I do. I like enjoying this, bro. And I'm gonna tell you what. We're gonna do a little something for our favorite players. We're gonna go favorite player overall from a standpoint of who got you watching football and who you liked going into football and your favorite player, and then we're gonna go through throughout the season and go different positions, different things that are our favorite players from this position. So, Donnie, if you'd like, while you pour up, I believe I will go first in this, my friend.
We pour up 0 sugar Gatorade out here, ladies and gentlemen. Get your electrolytes in.
Get them in.
We stay hydrated out here.
Yep, vitamins and minerals. Now,
yes, sir.
As an avid Steelers fan, the first person who really got me into football, and I watched football, and also just the team in general, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I enjoyed the way they played football. There was one particular person on that team, CDTA, the bus, Jerome Bettis. I loved watching him play football and just over
Legendary.
his shoulder and just absolutely bury people. He always scored. He was like basically like a linebacker, like having an outside linebacker, middle linebacker going at you full speed. Jerome Bettis was
His nickname says it all. That's all I gotta say, man.
Jerome Bettis was the biggest man I've ever seen actually carry a football and run with it. Like, this was wild to me. And I remember a specific game. I saw Jerome Bettis because Ray Lewis was there at the time. Brian Urlacher. I saw Jerome Bettis lower his shoulder and fucking destroy Ray Lewis. I was like,
one of the only few players that can do that to Ray Lewis.
He put down his shoulder and just absolutely. I was like, that is a man dominating another man. I was like, that was insane. And seeing that, man, I love seeing the bus come to town, and the fact that his last year he won a Super Bowl and retired right on the spot.
Bro, that was big. That showed you it was meant to be. That dude is legendary, and I'm not even a Steelers fan, but I can definitely see though why that man was your favorite player, and he inspired me in one way or another. Also,
the dude was just large and in charge. Now I gotta say too, I want to get to your favorite player, but there's also a trade that happened for the Steelers to acquire the bus Jerome Bettis, and this goes down as the top 3 worst trades in NFL history. LA Rams had him for 3 years. They moved to St. Louis. They traded him that 3rd year because they thought already he was going downhill because he got just a little bit over 1,000 yards. So they sent him to the Pittsburgh Steelers on draft day, the first draft day, for a 3rd round pick and a 2nd round the next year. Because they thought that his career was already diminished.
They thought the bus was going to be a bus.
And two Super Bowls later, and just being an absolute tank, getting over thousands of yards. Like, I love everything that guy is about.
I mean, we know who got the benefit of the doubt in that trade right there. Who won that trade? Who got the longer end of the stick? Really, yeah. He only went for a 2nd and 3rd round.
For a Hall of Fame running back.
Steelers Nation, I gotta say, you gotta be thankful for that. And I gotta ask too. I mean, what about Troy Polamalu? Steelers Nation, stand up, black and yellow, black and yellow. You know what it is.
Black and yellow, black.
I'm feeling good right now, so I'm be a Steelers cheerleader just for Timbo Slice, man.
Troy Polamalu, I was always an offensive guy, so I also watched the offensive line. Alan Faneca, phenomenal guy was absolutely incredible at what he did for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's also honorable mention too. Johnny, what's your favorite player and why?
Whew. I mean, personally, me, I didn't start playing football till I started in 7th grade. So I want to, so about 14, 15 years old, and you already know I've been bleeding blue since I came out the womb. Always been a Giants fan to the day I die. And while I was playing, man, I'm gonna have something to think about. I gotta get my philanthropy for this question. Mm-hmm. Just being a Giants fan and just really just being very just adamant and a crazy passion about watching Giants games. No lie, I mean I love the sport of football, but when it came Sunday, man, I just wanted to watch the Giants game. Yeah. I ain't care about any other team that was playing, man. I definitely watched other games a little bit, but best believe I was sitting down all 4 quarters, my ass on the couch, just watching the Giants game from the first second it started to the last second it ended. And during that time, man, I would have to say. People may want to call him Cheddar Bob these days, but I was a wide receiver. I started off as a wide receiver.
Mexico.
You know the vibes, man. You know the vibes. I started off as a wide receiver, transitioned to defense. You know what I'm saying? So I actually wore number 17 my freshman year in high school just because of Plaxico. But it's funny though. I ended up playing more of safety snaps on defense than offensive reps.
Lean on your back. Watching.
No, we'll say that one more time, Timble Slice. You just kind of cutting out.
When you're warming up the bench.
I wasn't warming up no bench. I'll tell you that right now. Only time I was on the bench was when the offense was on the field. Now I'm saying,
hey, let's go, my man.
I was out there committing legal assaults on people. Breaking
organized chaos.
Exactly. I just love tackling, man. No lie, tackling ended up turning to my thing. Some people might call me a teddy bear. I mean, some people may look at me like, "Donnie, you soft," but hey, you put me on a football field, man. The only soft thing you're gonna feel is that ground, and that shit ain't gonna feel that soft either.
Not in this winter weather. I mean, maybe in where you are, bro. But
hey, I'm in the sand out here. Just saying.
Yeah. We are not. We're in the I know.
Hey, listen. You know where I'm at, man. But I'll definitely say Plaxico and Jeremy Shockey too. Jeremy Shockey also. Bro, the dude Jeremy Shockey was a savage, bro. I don't think people understand. New York Giants. It's funny. I think we actually spoke about this in our first podcast ever. Just in regards to how the New York Giants used to practice there in Albany, New York, at the University of Albany. Shout out to you, Albany, UA. Giants held a training camp there.
Shout out.
I want to say that was around like 2008, 2009. So I want to say 2 or 3 straight years. I was just going to the University of Albany. It's right down the street from me. I'm just watching the Giants train and practice. So I'm just actually sitting down and watching how these players just really just go at it and just train and practice. And be honest, sometimes it could be more entertaining than watching a game. No lie, just seeing the type of drills that they do.
Just competitiveness.
Exactly, and and you get to see them up close too. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you get to try to get autographs after, or say try, but I got some few autographs. Just saying, I got a lot of New York Giants autographs. But I always observed Jeremy Shockey though. He always came on the field with this. I don't even want. At the end of the day, people are going to look at his cocky, arrogant attitude.
Yeah.
But that's what he was, though. You can tell that was him. At the end of the day, I think that's what made him such a good tight end. No, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer tight end. But I feel like till this day, the way he played, he
maybe his numbers. We'll have to see. I don't know.
Yeah, he could be. I may be speaking ahead of myself. He could be. I really have to sit down and dissect his numbers. Now he did his whole career. But Jeremy Shockey was a beast, so he definitely inspired me to just have more confidence playing and just be that badass on the field. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, dude.
And I would have to say one more player too. Favorite player. I don't even want to name all Giants, but it's just like when you bleed blue, man, it's just in you. And besides Jeremy Shockey, Plaxico Burress, I listen. Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh,
Odell, reach back like 1-3. To this day, I respect that man's game. I respect his athletic ability. He's a great player. He was definitely I could say my favorite player. One of my favorite players. Obviously you see things change. Things change every day. I think he's a great athlete. But also I would have to say though, Mike Vick, man. What Mike Vick brought to the NFL and brought to the game, especially for a quarterback. He shifted the whole game in one way or another. He definitely. I looked at that man. I was like, "Yo, this man is different." First of all, he's black and he's at a quarterback position. That was something even a little bit more rare to see back in the day, like over a decade ago. Exactly.
Then you had McNabb, Culpepper. You had, I mean,
yep. More fundamental quarterbacks in one way or another.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So watching Mike Vick do his thing, I feel like it's more of a norm now. Just having Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, kind of more the translucent quarterbacks. Even some of the other quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, even the white guys, bro.
Exactly. I mean, Aaron Rodgers.
Like all these cats. Ryan Tannehill, bro. He'll run some motherfuckers over.
Yeah, I don't know if he had the speed of these other dudes we was mentioning, but Tannehill,
Daniel Jones, except for when a sniper just gets.
Hey, that just shows you, man. Some white men ain't supposed to run that fast. That's a fact. That's a fact. And also, too, shout out to Tiki Barber too. Tiki Barber definitely was one of them. Tiki Barber,
Jason
I
Seaborn, bro. You remember?
Jason Sehortune, I do. That was slightly a little bit before my time where it became like an actual avid football fan. But Jason Sehorn definitely was a baller. He did his thing for the Giants also. I definitely have a few, man. I can't name one favorite player. Just from the players that inspire me to play football, and just players that now I can name them all day. Right now, I definitely, man. Right now, if he could stay, obviously, if he could stay healthy. I'm not trying to be biased, but I gotta say, my man Saquon Barkley. I think he's just very exciting running back to watch if he stays healthy and he has a decent offensive line to be behind. Besides him, you already know watching Patrick Mahomes, even Christian McCaffrey. Those are all just very exciting players to watch. So I could definitely name them some of my favorite players right now. Also,
I like.
I'm just piggyback.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man. Shows you. It's just it's all just I feel like practice makes perfect at the end of the day. So once you see players doing that and kind of see how they executed on the real deal on the real field, it just shows you what it actually takes. And I think that just goes for life in general. And speaking of practices too, Tim, we all know Timbo Slice here. He's a personal trainer, and training and things of that nature.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's flexing. Tim, look at the kid with his 2-inch biceps. Tim, what is some good training methods or techniques you would say, or you think a lot of football players use these days over there, Superman?
Well, considering I'm an expert on in the opinion of this, so punters, kickers, specialists like that, they're probably not doing a lot of lifting, except for our dude Prater over on the Detroit Lions. There's some yoga
dude is brolic.
kickers and punters.
There is.
I would say for linemen, they're training a lot of power, 3 to 5 movements, and then a lot of conditioning. They're doing power cleans. They're doing back squats. They're doing a lot of single leg stuff. So they're doing a lot of Bulgarian split squats, single leg deadlifts, RDLs, anything for the hips and the explosiveness, and also footwork. Quarterbacks, their pliability and their mobility is super important. So I mean, you can't have someone that's just like absolutely yoked up and expect them to throw. You know what I mean? Throw like that. So like Tom Brady, he talks about the pliability. TB12. That. Let's see. Tight ends, they're basically.
Hey, speaking of training, real quick, I just got to charge up. No, I mean, I just got to grab my charger. Speaking of training, I'm gonna run across my room real quick to grab my charger to get some training in. Timbo Slice is exciting me right now.
Hell yeah! So another thing that kind of goes on with it too is when you do that, you're going and you're training different energy systems. So anaerobic, aerobic, and during the off season, you start with a base strength program. And then going from the base strength program, you go into a hypertrophy program, endurance, and then you periodize that back. You kind of go into a cycle of each energy system, and you do conditioning. You also do a lot of different things that you cycle through the energy systems. Donnie, just to let you know, I'm talking about the cycles of training systems and periodization that you go through, especially when you do football players. So, like, you'll go through a hypertrophy phase where they're working on getting their muscles bigger. They're going through a 3 to 5 range where they're working on their power, their strength, working different movements, single leg stability. All those things are very important. Working on the core constantly. Farmers carries big movements that are using a lot of muscles at once.
That's dope. Do you think that training kind of has changed a little bit just on in regards to more skills players? I would say, I guess, has that changed more from like back in the day till now? You think? Because I feel like a lot of these skills players, they kind of look like soccer players. Some of them are just naturally big. Now, I mean, you got DK Metcalf and all that, but there's also a lot of just small, more, I guess, skinnier.
But they're chiseled, bro. Think about
Yeah.
like they're shifty. They move through. You see Tyreek Hill. He just needs to go as fast as he can down the hall and be as shifty as possible and be durable. Like I saw, I like to watch Tyreek Hill's training videos. He's working on, which I have a lot of my clients work on, is single leg deadlifts. Like single leg deadlifts on an unsteady surface. Because think about it, even though athletes they're on a steady surface all the time, most of the time, it's their bodies when it gets unstable where injuries happen. So like teaching someone to be stable on an unstable surface is going to make it them a lot stronger. I have them do that with while throwing like medicine balls at me, dumbbells like going down and up, and also too just training that posterior chain, the back, the hamstrings, the glutes to be powerful, and also being able to change direction.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I can definitely see that. And I feel like too, those workouts you just spoke of are definitely the more popular workouts and the workouts that are supposed to be happening, like compared to back in the day. Because I think back in the day it was more just
Body weight.
grunt, yeah, just body weight, just grunt work, get it done. But as you know, we got Temple Slice here. Yeah, it's niche workouts.
Yeah, and also too, so much science and different things goes into it, and measurables now. Then it was just like get in, make sure you're doing your crunches, this, that, bench press, this, that. But now it's much more sports specific, and there's a lot more science and technology that goes towards it. Like, if a player wants to barbell bench press, they should, as long as they have a certain mobility and whatnot. But you don't need to do that in order to be good. It's different things like doing one at a time, because playing football, especially like linemen, whatnot, you're in different positions, like your hands and your hand fighting. So it's like you don't need to be just good in this. You need to be good both sides to be able to throw that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it, man. I believe it. And did you find yourself doing compared to the training that you did in high school while you were playing football to what you're doing now? You think you could have had more of a better workout regimen, I guess, more of an effective workout regimen for yourself?
Yeah,
if you
for sure, being as that was about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But now my strength coach that was then, he's using that latest technology now too. So like, yeah, of course I would have been a much better athlete, different things like that, but also can't fault for what we didn't know at the time. That's kind of where I think about it with that.
Teamwork make the dream work. That's why a support system is so important. Because if you got the right coaching, just the right training, people who actually know what they're talking about, know what they're doing, know how to really just express it, you can go a long way, man.
For sure. For sure.
Practice makes perfect at the end of the day. So
practice makes perfect. Having a really good trainer and somebody there to make sure you're doing it the correct ways. Then that's where you start to make real progress.
Yep. You know what I missed? I don't know if ESPN still does it. Does ESPN do those science segments? ESPN Science, the little short episodes they did. Sports Science, that's what it's called.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure if that's on anymore. I'm sure we could find it on demand or
something. For sure. Yeah, I just remember watching those back in the day too, and just made me think, man, like every little detail counts, in just regards to how we practice and how we play.
Different things, bro. Yeah, that's for sure, man.
That's a fact.
And seeing that the hardest hits, the kicks, everything, I was like, wow, that's just ridiculous what the human body can do and how it can perform.
Yep. I mean, at the end of the day, we're literally just complex machines in one way or another. You got to take good care of a machine if you want it to perform its best. So that just shows you, hey, little things make the big things happen, baby. Little things make the big things popping.
Speaking of that, I got to get up at 5:45 tomorrow morning to go get a lift in. And even though Eric and my wife Danielle, even though they plugged but said they weren't going to plug my the Don Fathers show, they did it inadvertently, and it's right in the first couple minutes. So I'm gonna definitely plug your guys' show, Shake Things Up, because I produce it and I edit it. Thank you very much.
Let them know, Timbo.
Not because the content's any good, but because I'm on it. You know what I'm saying?
I heard you.
Shots fired.
I love it.
My buddy Eric, they started a podcast and Shake Things Up. I was on the first episode. I wasn't on the second one, but I am editing and producing it. So you guys can also find that on our SoundCloud page. But we gotta shout out a couple people, and we're hoping, we would love to get sponsors somehow, but we gotta shout out some people. First,
yeah,
I gotta go with one of my favorite supplement companies, Redcon One. I'm always at the highest state of readiness. Now, what that means to me is, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Get ready.
You never do. You never
preach.
And one of my clients, Mike Cohen, actually got this for me. And man, if it's so good, I use their MRE Light. Hey, Redcon One, we're out here, and we want to be sponsored.
Yes, sir. I mean, if you want to get healthy, get more muscle, and do it all naturally, do it the way you're supposed to, definitely get you some Redcon supplements. They got everything you need, from protein to pre-workouts to whatever. So
their
hey,
Total
definitely.
War, I like their Total War. Their MRE Light oatmeal chocolate chip, I slammed that down. It's got no whey. So my stomach, it doesn't do too great with whey protein if I have to take it in a shake. But this animal-based protein, dude, I put it down, and it is fantastic. 2 scoops of those don't bother my stomach at all, and I could have 4 scoops a day. It'll never bother my stomach. Love it.
There you go. Hey, that's what's up, man. Shout out to Redcon. Definitely gonna have to give me some of that too, and definitely shout out to Danielle, the wifey over there. Mr. Ryan, or excuse me, Mrs. Ryan, and Eric's a good dude, man. Shout out to their new startup with their podcast, Shake Things Up.
He was in my wedding with Don.
Sir. Yes, sir, man. And hey, shout out to Mr. Wavy Cunningham. Wavy Cunningham. If y'all want to hear some good music, man, no matter if you listen to rap, hip hop, blues, pop,
he's locked.
Exactly, whatever it is, man. Shout out to Wavy Cunningham. He has another project coming soon. He has a few out right now.
Yep, he's got another project coming soon. We heard it, and it is fantastic. Wavy, our boy Jossie, we're gonna have your music on, my man.
Sir. Yes, sir. Man. I mean, hey, I'm just trying to be in Club Wavy, man. That's all it is. So shout out to Wavy Cunningham.
That's all it is. He's out there. That's our dude. Well, that basically wraps it up for us, my guy. Another great episode. Another great week. It is Monday night. February's coming to a close, my friend.
Hey, yeah, man. It's a quick Black History Month. Shortest month of the year is gonna be Black History Month.
A week today it will be March 1st already.
Yeah. What did they say about March? It comes in like a lion and it goes out like a lamb, right?
I sure fucking.
So I hope y'all in New York, y'all in the Northeast, gonna be alright. I know I'm chilling here in Virginia. I'm gonna deal with some 60-degree weather tomorrow. Just saying. But hey, times is moving fast, man. Times is definitely moving fast. And I just hope y'all stay warm, stay blessed, do what you can do out there. At the end of the day, tomorrow is never promised. I mean, I'm going to end this on a good note of the day. Tomorrow is never promised. So It may sound cliche. Just try to live every day to the fullest, or just try to live every day to whatever makes you happy, but productive and converts to growth at the same time. It's a whole formula at the end of the day.
And be a real good human being. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's all we.
Those are the holy keys, man.
That's all we ask over here at the PayDirt Podcast. This is your host, Timbo Slice.
Wait, hold on. I gotta end this. Timbo Slice. Will we be back? Will we be back like Dak? Will we be back like Dak? That might be on our next episode to be continued.
Gonna be back but it might not be with the Cowboys.
We'll see. Be on America's team. We'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z,
Yep.
aka the PayDirt Podcast.
Yep, we will talk about that next time. This has been the PayDirt Podcast and my guy, the Don Father.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Peace. Cheers, y'all.